Hello, and thank you for joining me. It's been about a month, and I just wanted to take a little bit of time to check in and just reflect on some of the things that I've been doing and seeing and noticing, and just to send some love out into a world that I think really needs some love and some compassion right now. Um, this summer for me, this whole year, but particularly this summer, has really, really been about focusing in the present moment and noticing how that creates the life experience that I'm having. And really, really noticing that and really taking deep accountability and really just asking myself, what am I willing to do differently? And what are the barriers that I face in doing things differently? And then really, really, truly meeting myself where I am. And that has been challenging. It's been interesting, but it's also been very challenging. Um, there are emotions that are buried deep. There are things about yourself that you are not even remotely aware of. And when you begin to get to know yourself on this deep of a level, you realize how hard it is to truly ever really know someone else. Because people people are like onions. They have lots of layers. And there's just a lot to know. And the fact that we're always changing is a testament to the fact that you can never really truly know anyone besides yourself. And until you know yourself, it's very hard to know much about anyone else. And so, you know, one of the greatest struggles that I've had throughout my life is in relationship with others. And what I am finding in these present moment practices is that a lot of the hangups are coming from my own thoughts and thinking and perception and my own overreactions and my own inability to process things, not knowing how to communicate myself clearly and effectively, especially in moments that might be emotional or triggering. Um, Learning how to navigate those things and really taking accountability for myself, not just blaming someone else because of something that I did or felt or what have you, but really just noticing what just happened there. How did I feel? How did I respond? What did I say? Um, what did that do? What was the outcome? And does that work for me? Is that the kind of connection, exchange that I want to have with people? And if it's not, then what do I need to do differently? Do I need to choose different people? Sometimes that's the answer. Um, do I need to notice when I'm feeling that way and communicate more effectively? Do I need to, whatever it is, do I need to step away for a minute because that particular thing triggers something in me and I need a minute before I can respond rather than react? Always bringing it back to the present moment and to how I'm being affected and in return affecting everything else. That has been so freeing and empowering. The other thing that has been so helpful is reflecting back, not going to the past to feel sorry about it, to feel guilty, to anything negative, but rather just looking at what was there and how I felt about it and how I created it by showing up the way that I showed up. And what am I still doing that looks like that? And is that good, bad, or indifferent? And how do I create a new experience that doesn't include me doing those things that created the things that I don't like to experience? And so it's not about what's happening outside of me, but rather how I'm prepared to weather that, to respond to it, to give myself the right space, to notice my thoughts, to notice my feelings, to notice how I'm affecting the people around me, to react in a way that best fits the situation. I can't control the situation, but I can certainly control what I'm bringing to the table with practice. You know, I've been taught most of my life that I'm not in control of myself. That thoughts just happen and you just say things and people make you feel, and all these things are outside of my control. And what I'm learning more and more, and not only learning but accepting fully and applying, is that when I'm in control of myself, whatever comes my way is much more manageable. It may not make it okay. The result of the situation may still be out of my control. But the way that I feel about it, the way that I show up for it is different. And the way that I feel when it's over is different. And accepting that life is always going to be challenging, and I'm never going to have absolute control of anything or everything. There's a freedom in that. There's a freedom in knowing that you're not responsible for controlling everything, and that sometimes things just go wrong and you couldn't have fixed it if you had to. But you're doing your best to show up and to pay attention and to know what you are creating and what you are in control of. When you start to do that, the whole experience shifts and the way you feel about it shifts. Now, does that mean you feel good all the time? No. But you don't expect to. And that's a big thing that happens. Your expectations around things change. And when that happens, something else shifts. And the whole experience takes on a different meaning and feeling. And I think when we're able to really get good with that and realize that that's the good thing I've been looking for, rather than looking for this fairy tale ending. You know, I think I mentioned in the last video, or maybe even in this video, I don't know at this point, we all were looking for happy ever after. And it's beginning to realize that that's happening right now. I'm investing in my happy ever after. Ever is now, ever is always. It's not some end result that we're trying to achieve. The real accomplishment is being able to be present and to feel as confident and competent in that as possible. And that's not easy. But with practice, we get better, and it feels better, and we do better, and it doesn't feel so serious and so life attacking. And we begin to just shift and we begin to have a different experience. Now, sometimes that feels like a roller coaster ride, and sometimes the ups are big and the downs are big, and we just have to sort of breathe with it and use our tools and be present and hold space for the emotions that are coming up and notice, and that can feel exhausting sometimes, and it's acknowledging that as well, and creating enjoyment for ourselves, creating relaxation, taking the time to figure out what works best, and then investing in that. It's so big. There is no arriving, there is now. And what we're doing right now is creating the experience that one day is going to have been our life. Do we want to invest in a way that feels good and that moves us toward that good feeling? Or do we want to invest in something that we continuously regret and are exhausted by? I think we're all writing our own story, and the answers to those questions and to all questions have their own individual answers. But I also think that there are tools and ideas and things that we can share, and even energy and space that we share with one another, that makes this experience the most valuable that it can be. And to me, I think that's the focus right now. How can I bring the most value into this moment? And sometimes it's just crying and letting go of the emotions that have built up. And sometimes it's just laughing and enjoying the moment. And sometimes it's something completely else. Sometimes it's feeling stuck and sitting with that. And, sometimes it's creating something brand new and being excited about it. And sometimes it's just taking a deep breath and just not knowing what to do next. And sitting with that not knowing. And sometimes it's just taking a nap. Be present. Being present is the most valuable thing that we can do for ourselves. Investing in the present moment is the thing that we can do that's going to help ensure that the next present moment is also enjoyable. There are no guarantees, but where we invest our energy is certainly where things are going to tend to show up. I know it's not easy. I know it's not always fun. But thank you for showing up. Thank you for learning what works better for you, for being more authentic. Authentic. Why do I want to make it that word? More authentic. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for witnessing my journey. And I hope that just by sharing my own thoughts, my own reflections, that I can open up new pathways of thoughts and reflections for you. We're all walking this road. Why not do it in a way that helps each other out? Namaste.